I'm Abby Murphy. This is the third episode of Outlaws and Overshares. We're coming from Knuckleheads with the owner of Knuckleheads and the reason I continue to do this and why I'm doing this every time. I convinced him to sit down with me and have a conversation. He says he doesn't do interviews, so we're going to just chit-chat today.
She actually paid me. Go ahead.
It's going to come out of my concert budget. So I don't
You have one?
It's endless. It's bottomless. And we're going to talk to him about some stories and some little tidbits that we may have not heard from him before. I've really racked my brain.
Everything I have to say because I don't have that much to say.
I've come up with some pretty good questions for you today.
Oh, Lord. Shoot them.
All right. We're just going to dive into
Why
this.
are you here?
First, I want to start with, it's the night before Thanksgiving. We're very thankful to be sitting here at Knuckleheads, a place that gives us community and family. If I didn't have family to go spend time with, you sure as shit I'd be here at a concert on Thanksgiving.
So you're saying I don't have one because I'm just talking here. No.
You got to give a place to everybody else. You got a bigger purpose.
Oh, okay. I saw the tears in my eye.
Keep using that line. That's a nice one.
It is. Well, 2 tears in my eye. Go ahead. Okay, so.
So, Frank, what year did you buy Knuckleheads?
I didn't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
No.
You want it in a poker game?
No. Okay, here's a quick story. I'll make it really a long story. If you folks got all night, let's start this. But if we don't, here's a quick and easy story.
Okay.
In 1980, I moved across the street with my body shop. Only because I wanted an area that nobody was going to jack with me about paint fumes and the noise of diesels. I worked on big diesels. And so I was looking for an excluded place that don't have a lot of neighbors. Mm-hmm. So I bought this place, okay? Never even dreamed about Knuckleheads. It was just a body shop. So there's a lady that lived in here, and this place it was built a long time ago, in 1887. It's a boarding house. But the lady lived here because after a while it became a boarding house, and that didn't work out for whatever reason. It became a doctor's office. There's an MD on one side and a chiropractor on the side we're in now. So it's kind of like a duplex thing. But she lived here. And I don't know the whole story, but she was 76 years old when she left. So when I met her, she was 70 or 75. I'm 70 or 71, I'm sorry. So then she lived here for 5 years after I moved in. So we got to be pretty good friends and stuff. And she was born and raised here at this house. And I never asked her the deal. I kind of just made assumptions. But I figured either her mother run off, hopped the train, got the hell out of Dodge, or she passed away and a doctor raised her for whatever reason. And so the doctor was gone, of course, and she was here by herself, and she told me, and I think it was 85, late 84 or early 85, she goes, I'm going to move to a nursing home because I don't like being by myself down here at night, and not anywhere at night, because if I fall, nobody knows I'm here. She was thanking God because I was across the street. Every day I would say, you okay, Mm-hmm. And so she moved, and my wife married her uncle on DeLuna Realty. And this house was owned by the bank because it was in a escrow for the doctor, right? Am I making this too long?
No.
Okay. So anyway, it was in escrow. And the thing I helped the lady out with was like when it needed a new roof or needed painting. She was a 75-year-old woman. They just kind of took advantage of her, and they painted the place that didn't really scrape it and all that. Or put a roof on top of another roof, but being too lazy to take it off, They thought they could get away with it. So I told her, I said, hey, you're getting kind of screwed over here. Let me help you when you got somebody come over. Let me talk to them with you. And so anyway, we got the bank owned it. So when she moved away, the bank wanted to sell it. Well, the neighborhood now, the way you see it, is not like it was in 1985. It was just a bunch of houses that people, mm-hmm. They lived in. I mean, it was just a community that was at one time probably thriving, but it wasn't now. And so the bank was trying to sell it. Well, I didn't really want no neighbors across the street from me bitching and stuff. So I tried to buy it, and they asked what I thought was too much money for it. So I had Louis DeLune make a counter offer. I don't know if we should talk about how much I paid. They might as well give it to me. No, but anyway, I got it for pennies on the dollar. Okay? And then I go, what the hell am I going to do with it? I got this building now. It's a nice looking building. What the hell am I going to do with it? So I had a guy that worked for me. We made it a place for him to live. It was still an apartment back then, and kind of watched over the place and all that. So in 1997, I was riding motorcycles and stuff, and I needed a place to make. I wanted a place to buy parts where I could buy them at wholesale price because I was fixing up so many motorcycles, selling them. It started out as a hobby and it kind of ended up as a job. And so I decided to make this into a motorcycle shop. And so when I did that, it was supposed to be just me and my friends. Well, my friends took other friends, and then they come down, they disrupt me from my work over here, find out how much a set of handlebars would cost or how much a muffler cost, whatever. Okay, so anyway, I made a motorcycle shop out. They come down and interrupt me. And so I thought, well, for me to be able to work, I went and hired a counter guy. And I hired a guy by the name of Radar to run the heat. Been in that business before, that works our Davidson. And so we became a business, which I never really wanted, but it had to be because you had to sell like $100,000 worth of parts a year. So anyway, then it became a business. Then you started having to make money to pay for your help and all that other stuff. So I started having street parties set up. So I put a flatbed trailer on the street, and we had a band called Fresh Brew, which is Danielle McCall. Okay. She was 17 at the time. And she played out the street and invited people down for free beer, free hot dogs. I don't know about the hot dog. You offer free beer, their ass is going to come. They just show up and they don't care where. Yeah. So we made this place like a destination. And there was a lot of thought went into that. It sounded like it was just wasn't thought about, but it was. So I'm going in my mind, I got to have people find this place. And how do I find them? How do I make them find me? So we made it a destination, and then we had free beer and hot dogs, and then we started having like little shows, different kind of shows and games and stuff going on. And so we started getting up to 1,000 people show up. And we had big street parties. Well, the thing about beer, and I've said this a million times, the thing about beer or whiskey, whatever you drink, if it's free and you sit there with a beer and it gets a little bit lukewarm, you can throw it away and get you another one. Yeah, why not? You buy this so much, you're going to drink it. Yeah, right. I'm drinking with the hot or cold. Like, oh, don't take that yet. I got a little more to drink. So we started charging people to come in. And then, so during the day, what we had down here, was giving beer away. And that's become just come in and go do your shopping and have a beer. Well, it become more of a hangout. It almost become a bar then. And so I said, well, I can't afford to give everybody the beer. So I put it in Coke machines. And if it was Miller Lite, it's the ML. Bud Light was a big deal. And everything was fine. And a friend of mine, I've been shooting pool forever on a league. A friend of mine's an attorney. He kept going, you really ought to get a liquor license. I said, well, a liquor license is probably hard to get as a motorcycle shop. And so I made a couple of calls, and it sounded like it would be really a pain in the ass to do. So I didn't do it. And then one day a guy come in, and his kid said, hey, Dad, can I get Coke? He said, yeah, you give him $1. He comes back with beer. So, oh, shit, it's time to get the liquor license. So I spent a lot of time with the regulated industry explaining to him that what we're doing and get him to trust me that I wasn't the one that did the bike shop or use throw chicken bones on the floor, grab another beer, Yeah. So anyway, once we got our liquor license, we started doing concerts. I started having like local bands come in, had a little stage, and only thing I had a stage at first, I think just hadn't played down by the door, and it just started growing and growing, and then I started doing bigger bands, and then about 2004 or 5, the Grand Emporium closed, and I was doing a lot of blues, and so the people who was booking the Grand Emporium started calling me, want to book here, and so we did, and It wasn't like I took over the Grand Forum because I only went there 4 times in my life. I went there twice before Roger sold it. I went there twice after he sold it. So it wasn't nothing to do with I'm going to take over Grand Forum. It just so happened to be the right time at the right place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like musicians. I think that's how people get known musically. They're just at the right place at the right time. Somebody hears them that likes them.
I think that's the story. You know,
It
there's
is
so
the
many
story.
things.
So you got to be lucky enough to be at the right place. How do you do that? That's my question for you. How do you do that?
Well, you got to drink a lot. You get invited to places where there's a lot of alcohol. Well, you start off by being a good time, and people want you around. That helps. It's a fine line between the drinking and being a good time.
Well, okay. Sure. I'm turning this interview around. You know that.
Oh, man, I don't know.
All right. Next question.
Okay. So we know how Knuckleheads came to be. It's 2025. When you started doing this, what artist did you book? You said, or band? You said, "Oh, okay, we've got something special. This is no longer a hobby or just, seeing what will work."
Here was the thing that really, I had a lot of bands around town that I knew I liked. And I've been out a lot, listen to music. I go to BB's Alongside Barbecue. I go to night moves. I go all over the place. And we're kind of known for a blues bar, but I did like country. I really liked old country, real old country. Like the old Hank Williams shit. Okay. And I like the Red Dirt. And I like Irish music. I like all kinds of music. So I thought, well, I had a guy call me and said, "Hey, I want to book some bands." He had 3 days in a row: Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And so I booked Little Ed and Blues Imperials. Kenny Neal was a great musician, and Anthony Gomes. That was in 2004, and they all played in one weekend. And so what the hell, this ain't that hard to do. I could do that. It was kind of fun. I really kind of always, I've always been a music lover. I never could play nothing except the radio, but I like music, so.
That's what I'm doing here.
What, playing radio?
No, come in here. I love music, but I have no skill set.
Well, I think we all have a skill set. We just don't know what it is. Just, mine was to communicate through music, and I couldn't do it myself. So I would have you listen to a band I like, or listen to a band I thought was good, whether I like, maybe not by me, but might not be my cup of tea on their music. Yeah. But they were good. Yeah. And so we went down to Green Lake Lounge one day a long time ago, and a bunch of jazz guys were playing, and Mary, my wife, was with us, and we were making too much noise. Imagine this, because I get pissed off about this too. They go, we had like a party of 8 or 10 of us. Yeah, that'll do. They come up and say, "Could you guys go downstairs? You're fucking noisy, and you're interrupting the band." I said, "Yeah, we'll go downstairs." We did. And David Bassey, I don't know if you know him or not, but David Bassey is a well-known jazz musician down. He come down and say hello to me and start talking. And he asked Mary, "How do you like the music?" And she goes, "I hate fucking jazz." He goes, "Well, tell me how you really feel." And so that's always been a thing with him. When he comes in to play, I go, "Mary's here. Oh, she hates jazz." But yeah, it was just things like that brought fun into it. And to be honest with you, I worked on trucks for 42 years. You can only look at a wrecked truck so many times. And so I thought, well, this is something I want to do. And I always thought about, because I was selling motorcycles, and I also sold cars too, because I was in the body shop business. So I have a fender bender, and I buy the car and fix it up and sell it, or a motorcycle. At one point, I had 8 motorcycles in my garage. And Mary goes, "We can't even get the car in the garage. It's like rabbits to keep multiplying." So I brought them down here to sell them. But anyway, I kind of always dreamed about having. This sounds really crude. I don't mean to sound like it, but I am this kind of guy. Okay, let's have a little bar, get people kind of tipsy, and sell them a car or a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got them there.
Listen, do you know how much jewelry I bought because people took advantage of me while I was drinking at a show?
Yeah, that's it. Take advantage of people. But anyway, so we become, well then the first concert that I've ever paid to see, not saw a lot of concerts, but the only one I ever paid, not the only one, but the first one I ever paid to see years ago was at Miss Auditorium. It was Mad Dogs and Englishmen with Joe Cocker, Leon Russell, and Billy Preston and Rita Coolidge. I always loved Leon Russell. So I had a chance to book him on July 10th, 2005, I think it was, four or five. And so I booked him, and I was really green to the business. And if you green boy, I mean, it's kind of like, okay, they sell you something, which is a, an artist or an act to. I mean, it's kind of like buying a car, really. I mean, you're buying it thinking that uh, you're gonna get good service out of it. You're gonna get, people's gonna love it. They're gonna like seeing you drive it, all that. So you buy a musician, but he's gonna bring in a lot of joy to a lot of people, and hopefully bring in enough money to pay him pay him. And maybe you might have a dime or two left when it's over. And so we booked Leon Russell, and didn't know shit about signing contracts or nothing. I was old school that hey, when you shake my hand, and said we got a deal, we got a deal. Boy, you're wrong in that business. You don't do this shit. I'm telling you. But I learned real quick. But anyway, I picked up the Pitch magazine one day, and I was telling I had posters around Knuckleheads saying, "Hey, Leon Russell's coming here July 10th." I picked up this pitch and it said Leon Russell at the Madrid Theater, July 10th. I said, "How the hell can that be? Can't play both places." So I called up the agent, and the agent says, "Well, they offered us $500 more than you did." I said, "But you just told me a price I told you I paid. You never said it was a bidding war or nothing." And he said, "Well, they offered $500." I said, "Well, you should have called me and said, give me the option to pay the other $500, but you didn't." Anyway, I got pissed off about it, but the next year I started getting Leon Russell down here. He played every year for I don't know how many years, but that was my first big national touring act. The other guys were I hate genres, okay, and I hate to where they say, okay, this is a national guy, this is a regional guy,
Yeah.
But this was my first act that I wanted to bring in.
Yeah.
I mean, really wanted to bring in, and was excited to see him. When I thought he was going to get it, but he didn't show up. So that sparked something in me that wanted to do it again. And so I just started booking bands and trying to get people to come down and say, hey, listen, coming up, Liz, even though we're off the beaten path, we got something for you. We got something that hopefully that you don't get too many other places. You get up close and personal concert here. You see the people like within 5-10 feet of you, and if you're lucky, you get to talk to them. And if you're lucky, you see them do sound check, and you see them walk around. A lot of them come just through and walk through the audience and start talking to people. And it's something for that to happen. And that's part of the thing that we started with Knuckleheads. I thought was really great that the artists could feel at home and that fans could feel at home. And so what I tried to do was make it like a party in my backyard. I know it's no building, but it's like come to Frank's house and enjoy yourself and have a good time, whether you're a musician or whether you're a music fan. So I started asking the people come in here. And I remember Watermelon Slim was one of the guys coming in as blues player. And I said, what do you look for when you come to play for someone? First thing I look for is a washer and dryer. I said, really? I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that, but why a washer and dryer? Yeah. He goes, well, you're out on the road. Your shit's all dirty. And you either got to stop somewhere at the laundry and wait and wait and wait. But if you go to a venue that's got a washer and dryer, you can wash your clothes and stuff while you're after performing with the other clothes on and come back and, I said, cool. How about an ironing board? So I got an ironing board. And then it just, so I put washer and dryer in all the buildings I own. And of course, at the time, this was just this one, but we started, paying attention to them. What else do you need, Well, we were like a really comfortable green room and not a little closet where you go like this or, Do you ever see Green Book?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a movie called Green Book, and it's a long story, but it's black guy left to go down in the South back in like the 50s, 55, 60s, like that. Anyway, down there they wasn't really segregated at the time, so what they did, they had him go into, it looked like a storage closet. That was his green room where he changed clothes and everything. And so I thought, well, hey, this is right. Let's make something where they can sit down and watch a nice television. I even put up like a Xbox thing to play with all the stuff. So I wanted to be very comfortable in here. And so now we got showers in all the rooms. We got nice sofas and stuff, place to sit down. We got shower. We got washers and dryers. Got irons. When Judy Collins come in one day, she wanted a steamer. I thought, well, hell, your clothes do get wrinkled, so we went and bought a steamer. We got a steamer in both places now. So we're just constantly
spoiling them.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I've always heard great things from the artists about coming to Knuckleheads. I know the artists love traveling through here and they like staying here.
Well, the thing is to treat them like you coming into their house, because if you invited somebody over for dinner, you wouldn't be mean to them, and you wouldn't be like,
right.
So that's what I do. I try to talk to them. I have conversations with them. I don't want to bug them, but sometimes you feel like, hey, I don't want to go talk to them because they've been on the road all day, or the fans are all talking to them. I don't want to be the guy that they have to talk to. I want to be the guy they want to talk to.
Yeah.
And so there's a thin line there. You got to kind of watch and but
you're kind of leading into one of my questions, two of my questions.
I was hoping I was.
Yeah. So.
But this one's getting really long.
I know. I was just letting you talk. I didn't want to interrupt you, but you're kind of hitting on two things.
Quit rambling and let's get to business.
So you've cultivated this atmosphere and experience where it's not just bands coming to listen to musicians. You've created a community. This is a family. The bartenders have been here from the beginning, some of them. I feel like my aunts are bartenders and my cousins are the door guys. It's always the same people. It's just so much different than any other venue where you just got, your hourly employees and it may be someone different every time. You have cultivated this community experience. You've kept ticket prices low. You sell your tickets through your own website with minimal fees. Your drink prices are low. In 2025, when you've got the ticket masters just reaping all of these fees and these artists are charging over $100 for basic GA tickets out in the nosebleeds, what are you doing to protect your legacy and protecting this to make sure that all those things that these other people are doing, these artists, that they're getting a little bit greedy, doesn't make their way into Knuckleheads? Because you have something so special here. This is the family atmosphere, kind of.
Well, again, I try to keep the prices as low as I can. A lot of people say, they give me shit sometimes about, hey, you're $30 is too much. That's what
they gotta go.
Go pay
they gotta go do some perspective.
Down at Midland.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think that I don't know. Again, it's just like inviting somebody to your house. I would not give them something that I wouldn't eat myself. I wouldn't give them a drink that I wouldn't drink myself, and a show that I wouldn't watch myself, and also a ticket price I wouldn't do myself. And I try to keep shows. I mean, sometimes I think I own worst enemy because I sometimes go, well, and an artist to be worth $50, I'm charging 15, But I think it's a two-edged sword. I think I've almost screwed it up for two, or you can't charge too much, because everybody's used to me charging 20, 15, 20, $25. And so if you get, but you get somebody in there who's really big, like, when we had Kevin Costner and we had, the other